Today, I'm honored to have the privilege to introduce our guest speaker in the Thoughts on Education initiative by Collegedunia.com. We have with us the Director General of KIIT College of Education, Professor S.S. Agrawal. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, and I would like to thank you. And I consider it as a great privilege for myself to give an interview with you, such a prestigious publishing house. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Before delving into a conversation, could you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your journey in the education domain?
Well, I did my graduation in physics at Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, and then directly entered into the PhD program and did my PhD doctorate in physics with applied physics, having a specialization in electronics. The major area was automatic speech recognition and synthesis. Subsequently, I became lecturer at the same university and taught applied physics for about 3 years. Later on, I was selected as a scientist by a laboratory called Central Electronics Engineering Research Institute, Pilani, which is a CSIR laboratory. It's an important R&D laboratory of the Government of India. And I pursued my research career mainly in that institute for about 31 years. And I retired from there after getting the highest post of the scientist, which is called as Scientist J, and the head of the institute located in Delhi. It was nice that I continued my research pursuits, and CSIR selected me as an emeritus scientist after my retirement and continued my research. At the same time, I was also appointed as an advisor to Center for Development of Advanced Computing, which is again a Government of India laboratory, and worked at both the places as an emeritus scientist as well as in CDEC at Noida. After working there for some time and having my interest in education as well as research, I was asked to join this prestigious institute, which is known as KIIT Group of Colleges. And this institution I joined in the year 2004, in the beginning, as a part-time principal. And subsequently, I continued there and then continued my journey till now in this great institution.
So the achievements and accolades you have in your career, I think that is difficult to match for anyone. So once again, congratulations for that. And as I was mentioning, it's an honor because of those reasons as well to have you here today. Next question, sir. As you are in charge of such an important position, what is the philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Well, you see, leadership requires certain inherent qualities as well as certain acquired qualities. See, I would say that the person whom we can call as a leader, or who would like to become a leader, should first of all develop the required competence about the area in which he or she is working, and develop sufficient knowledge in that area. The other things are that he should be, or she should be, a creative person. They should always think of certain new things, new ventures. And of course, when I was talking to you about the inherent qualities, some of the inherent qualities that are required are a very good character and conviction that relates to his personality. So character, conviction and communication are some of the inherent basic qualities that a person should have. And when I say that in order to become a good leader, it requires continuous efforts, and this continuous effort requires continuous creativity and 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 a and a pursuit for progress. One should always think of innovative new things and think what is now required, what are the present day challenges, how to meet these challenges and solve these problems. If you can solve these problems and are creative and know that how to go ahead, then only you can lead the people. Leadership means it is not only that you have to become an important person or a leader of that organization, but you have to lead the masses. Where if you are in a college, you have to lead the teachers, you have to lead the students, you have to lead the whole education system. So in order to do that, you should know what are the inherent problems facing today, how to solve them, how to create new ways of solving, and then go ahead. So this is what I think that a leader should have. And I'm fortunate that being a researcher, I always think of solving the problems. And in case there are certain problems which are coming in day-to-day life, or the problems which have to be solved in order to progress the institution, you have to solve these problems. Yes.
So the idea of leadership you gave is not just valuable to the viewers, but to me also. It's a very ideal way of saying things, and obviously you have maintained this throughout your life, and hopefully we can also resemble something like that in our careers.
Thank you.
Moving on to KIIT College, when you first came to KIIT College of Education, what was your vision for the institute? Like, has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Well, it's a very important question you are asking about our institution, KIIT. Well, when I joined in the year 2004, it was not such a big institution. It was a small institution having only 2 courses, that is BCA and MCA, and having very less number of students and less number of faculty members. Can you believe that there were only 5 to 6 faculty members, and there were about maybe about 30 students to begin with? But you are asking about the vision when I joined. The vision of the institute, which was thought by our respected chairman, Shri B.R. Kamraji, and other members, as well as I also thought, being a scientist and a person interested in higher education, that this institute must become an excellence center for higher education. In India, there is a need for higher education and good higher education. So with that vision we started, and higher education in various fields, like fields of engineering, fields in management, fields in education. And these are the 3 areas that we had selected for the progress of the institution. And step by step, we did efforts to increase the educational courses, increase the facilities required for that. And at the same time, there were 2 or 3 very important things that we had in mind, that we should not compromise on the quality of education. When we think about education and engineering classes, we should not be less than any other good institution, or we should compare with one of the best institutions in the country at least. So the basic infrastructure required for all these things, such as the state-of-art laboratories, the faculty members who are well qualified, the facilities which are required by the students, such as classrooms, the ICT facilities, and the extracurricular activities and things like that. So all these facilities must be available to the institute, so that when you think of a high quality higher education, these things are essential. So you have to provide a good infrastructure, a good environment, and the comparable, at least comparable with some of the best institutions in the country, the type of education that you are imparting. So that must be taken into care. Now, coming back to the progress, I am very happy to mention that we started with a very good college of education, where we now had B.Ed and M.Ed classes going on in a nice manner. We had a college of management where we have BBA and MBA courses running very well, and in the engineering courses where we selected most important branches of engineering like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, information technology, and computer science and engineering. So some of these important core areas of engineering were started here, and we imparted these engineering courses. At the same time, when you are talking about the maintenance of the quality of education, you had to get the courses affiliated by a certain university and get them accredited also. So our courses, all the courses, are now affiliated with the MD University of Rohtak, which is a state government university, and they have been approved by the All India Council for Technical Education as well as NCET for education purpose. So without getting approval from these accrediting agencies and affiliating in a regular manner, we did not start the courses. So all the required norms for conducting these courses were met in a nice manner, in a perfect manner. Time to time, we have done accreditation by the accreditation bodies. For example, there is a body called NAC. It's a very important organization for accreditation of the institutions. And this NAC accreditation for our College of Education has been done twice. And both the times, we have been awarded with A grade. So that is something we are proud of that. Similarly, we got accreditation for our engineering college, and it was not A grade but B grade. But we take care that these accreditation bodies should also recognize our competence and our quality of education. So these are some of the things. I can elaborate on many things about the quality improvement in education and many other things which an institution like this and an institution of higher education should have. We not only had these courses in BTech and MTech also, Masters of Technology in Computer Science and Masters of Technology in Electronics Communication Engineering, but the research environment in the institute. And for having a good and high quality research environment, we had collaborated with international organizations from Japan, from France, and many other countries. At the same time, we had conducted international conferences of high quality nature with participation from many countries. For example, the conferences that we organized had participation from about 20 to 26 countries, and they all were organized in KIIT campus. And the topics of latest areas of research and relevance to the country were discussed and deliberated, and the proceedings were published. At the same time, our research was funded by many government organizations and private industries. For example, the name of Nokia is a very big company, and Nokia funded a research project for 4 years. Then we had funding projects from agencies of government like Department of Electronics and Information Technology, almost on a continuous basis, now going on for about 15 years. And also from DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization. So I would like to say that in order to maintain a higher status of the institute, as well as conducting advanced research, which is actually a reflection of the vision of the institute on one hand, as well as creating the students which are research oriented, which can think about the relevant problems and find solutions for them. And they become globally acceptable. It is not only that the student has to be in India and they have to serve in our country, but in the present times, our student must have an acceptability in the global scenario. So if a student of KIIT does BTech degree or MTech degree, he should be able to find a place in any country like US, UK or France or Japan and things like that. Many expert scientists from these countries have visited our institute. We had also done exchange of myself as well as our faculty members to these countries, especially in the areas of research which are relevant to our country. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned from the beginning, the growth that the institute has seen with you being there, it is incredible. I think the students studying there right now also won't know that story right from the beginning. So it is incredible. If they even hear it, I think it is incredible work that has been done by you and your colleagues. I think this was something that not many colleges can replicate, even if they want to. So once again, salute to you and your efforts for making this college such a big name from scratch, basically. As you mentioned, only 30 students being there in the first batch. It's incredible where the college stands right now. So congratulations to you once again on that. I have one final question for you, sir, and this relates to the current pandemic situation as well. So,
Yeah.
what according to you are the challenges that are being faced by the education sector in general, by KIIT College of Education specifically, in this current situation? And could you also give a message to the current youth and aspiring students who are facing difficulties to motivate them and to guide them to a correct path during this difficult time?
Talking specifically about the COVID-19 period and the pandemic situations like this, where physical education is not possible, you cannot have a direct interaction with the students, but the education must go on. It is not that you stop everything and then education will stop, things like that. There are many challenges also one has to face, because it's a kind of a great shift in the procedure of education, imparting education. And you have to find ways how to solve these problems. So the first thing comes is the online teaching. That means now with the availability of technology, you align education with technology. This is the key word I'm going to tell you. That means use the available technological facilities as much as possible for imparting education. And I tell you, this has been a very successful experiment for teaching the students in the online way. You can have classes using videography. However, the teachers have to change their pedagogic methods, like they have to rely more on PowerPoint presentations, like videographic interactions, give more classroom exercises and evaluate them on more regular basis and things like that. But all said and done, the education has not been affected very much. As far as the syllabus and courses are concerned, they have been covered very well. In fact, in many cases, it has been better than the physical education, than the offline education in a classroom, because here there is no wastage of time. If you have to take a 1 hour class, you are totally attentive to the class. The students are also attentive because you are connected online through the network, and the teacher is continuously teaching. His video is being recorded and he is cautious of what he is deliberating, or what he is telling. So he cannot get away from the actual contents of the lecture and explain them as much better as he or she can. So in a sense, it has been quite good. The only thing is that you have to find new ways of aligning technology with the teaching. The major problem has been with the experimental teaching. For example, when you are teaching classes of engineering laboratories, for example, in a laboratory there are machines, and in those machines students have to work and then find out the observations and the results which the machine is giving you by feeding certain parameters, by doing certain actions on that machines and things like that. Since the machine physically is not available with the student, there is a problem. Some solutions have been found for that. That is known as virtual experimentation. And now there are ways by which you can simulate certain experiments using some software technologies. So virtual experimentations have been done, and based on that, you have evaluated their experimental skills, that how much they know about conducting that particular experiments. Of course, in all the experiments it may not be possible, but in most of the cases, in 70 to 80% cases, I'm sure that this virtual experimentation can give certain results. But, well, we pray that this situation will not prevail forever, and we will have the days when we can have the physical meetings and physical teaching also. And the students will go to the laboratory and then do their experiments. But I would like to say one more thing, which is very important, that even if this pandemic situation is not there, COVID-19 will go away. If not in another 2 months, maybe after 6 months, or maybe after another year. But we have learned a lot of lessons from this. We should be prepared for such situations, as well as now there is a thinking that there are many advantages of this kind of teaching. So now the colleges and the institutions are actually thinking that why not to have a blended teaching, blended methods of teaching, various kinds of. Many times you can have online classes, but many times you can have offline classes whenever there is a need like that. So, because the advantages of online teaching is that a teacher is at home, students are at home, with the help of the internet facilities, you are delivering the lectures and then understanding it better than probably what you could have done in the physical contact. All these things are there. You can have a lot of interaction, you can have seminars, you can have conferences also. So a kind of a blended model is now going to come up, which the institutions may be thinking very seriously to reduce the transportation problems, and it will reduce the number of faculty members also. You may not need as many faculty members as you require when there is a physical teaching. So that also is very important now. And the other advantage is that you can have a faculty member from anywhere. Now, for teaching a particular course, if the teacher is not employed with KIIT, you can ask a teacher employed with Delhi University to ask and give that course or to give certain lectures. So this is an advantage of the online facility only. And then you can plan in such a way that you can have both the options. So these are the things which are emerging very much. The only thing is that we have to plan well. We have to think that how best we can use this ICT facilities or the new electronics or the new communication and the new internet, new IoT and all these things in a better way for education purpose. So this thinking is going to come, and this kind of pedagogy will be blended with the other pedagogy.
Yeah. That was wonderful insight, sir. And like all the information that you gave today, I think that is not only valuable to the viewers, but to me as well. So before I let you go, just a very brief message for the students, as I was mentioning, who are also aspiring to be great future leaders like you. Just a brief message for them before I let you go.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much. This is something very important and which we should convey to our students. You see, there are a few things which a good education should impart, and a good teacher should be able to make the students ready for that. And students are the future of our country. Students is the power of the country. I mean, so everything depends on our youth, our students, good students. A few things which I would like to say. One of the thing is character building. Students must keep in mind that without having a good character building, progress in life may be limited. You can earn some money, you can live nicely with your family or something like that. But in order to become a good human being, a good citizen of the country, and serve the humanity at large, you should think of a global citizen. For that, character building is the most important. Then, along with physical power, you should develop your mental power, your thinking capabilities, your innovating capacities. Think something new. Try to innovate something. Try to think that how is it that I can now do this, I can do this, and I can help my society, I can help my country, or I can progress, or I can do a new innovation which is going to change the world. So that thinking should remain there in their mind. So this mental power and intelligence is another thing which they should develop, and which I told you that they should have a attitude to innovate. And our Dr. Kalam Saab have already mentioned this thing many times, and he was telling that even not only to these young engineers or the higher level education students, but to the children also. He used to say that dream. He does not want nighttime dream. He wants daytime dream. So dream in the day. You think that what you want to do. Just sit down and dream and think. Become a good thinker and dream. And then convert that dream into the actions. How you can convert, how you can innovate, how you can do something. So that is something. And they should think that education is not limited to achieving a degree only, that they have got BTech or MTech. It's a lifelong learning. So if you are really an academic person, if you are interested in education, you are interested in thinking, you are interested in becoming a leader in education, it's a lifelong learning. It is known as L3 scenario. That means lifelong learning. So they must think about that, and think about the society, think about your parents, about the country, think about the humanity at large in a global way. Don't just be limited in your thinking for petty things and for a short-term gain. What I say is, don't think about short-term gains. Think about long-term gains. So when you think about long-term and think about the country, think about the humanity, I think you will become a very good leader and you will have your name. How did Swami Vivekananda became a very good leader? Because he was not confined to a short-term goal, or he was confined to only a limited achievement, or what you say, a kind of a selfish achievement, or getting something, some reward for something. He thought always globally for the whole humanity. So that's how, I'm not going to give many quotes to you, because you already know about all these things, and our students are much more intelligent and they can think what I mean to say to them. But these are my messages, that go ahead in life and do something good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. As I was mentioning, this entire session is not just valuable to the viewers, but to me also. This is going to be a lifelong memory. So thank you very much for being with us today. And I look forward to interacting with you in the future as well.